Hi my little nuggets, it's Nikki here. Today I'd like to do a video on my advice for anybody that's suffering with depression or anxiety, and for anybody who knows somebody that's suffering. My first advice to you is to seek help. You can't go through this on your own, you can't get through it on your own. You need to go and see your GP. If you're nervous about going on your own, then you can always take a family member or a friend with for moral support. Even if they don't go in the room with you, at least you know that they're waiting for you when you come out. I remember the first time that I went, I was petrified that the doctor was just going to laugh at me and tell me to get out, tell me that, not to be so stupid, but he didn't. So I am really glad that I did go and I admit it, that I had depression. You'll be asked to fill out a questionnaire which asks you how you felt over certain things over the last couple of months. Basically, you need to be honest about this questionnaire. You're not going to get judged by it, you're not going to get taken off to the loony bin as soon as you fill it in, but you need to fill it out as truthfully as you can. Now, the doctor may offer you antidepressants. This is your choice whether you take them or not. For me, I did go on them. I've been on two. This is my second type of antidepressants that I've been on now, and this one's certainly a lot better for me. And that's another point to remember. If you get antidepressants and you find that they're not working for you, then you need to go back to visit your doctor and advise them, and they can either up the dosage on them or can change them for you. Now, I stupidly, on my first bout of antidepressants, started feeling better, so I stopped taking them, which was a big no-no. Basically what happens is when it goes out of your bloodstream, because it takes a couple of weeks before it goes out, I started feeling depressed again, and it was quite bad. So my advice to you is, if you're feeling better, don't just stop them. You need to go and visit your GP if you really want to come off them, because what the GP will do is they'll gradually reduce your dosage that you're taking. They'll gradually reduce the amount, the amount you're taking each week. So they might say, oh, for this month you're going to take 4, for this month you're going to take 3. Now, personally, I've been on them for about 2 years. I don't mind the fact that I may have to take these antidepressants for the rest of my life. The way I see it, I'd rather pop a pill each day than have these feelings that I've had before. So for me, there's no contest there. It's what I'm going to do. Now, my next advice to you is to actually accept any counselling that you're offered. This may be one-to-one, it may be group, it may be CBT. But what you've got to remember with the NHS is the counselling can take months to come through. So if you can afford it, I'd go and get a private counsellor. Now, my first counsellor I had was through the NHS, and I didn't really get on with it at all, but it was the only thing I knew, so I thought I'd have to stay with her. I did go to a private counsellor. I don't see her anymore, but I do have a number, so I know I can go back. And she was absolutely fabulous. I remember there was some weeks when I'd go with her and I would be so het up and shaking, and I'd cry. And then by the end of it, I'd always feel so relaxed. She'd always just calm me down. Another good thing about her, and a lot of people who have been to counsellors with depression will tell you this, is she's gone through it herself. And the best counsellors out there are people who have gone through it themselves. My next advice is quite controversial, and that's about the subject self-harming. As somebody who has self-harmed for many years now, although I couldn't actually tell you the last time that I self-harmed, which is very good. My advice to anybody, and I was told this, is to actually carry an elastic band around with you. When you feel the urge to self-harm, now self-harming can come in many ways. People can cut themselves, can burn themselves, can starve themselves, take drugs, drink too much alcohol. This can be all signs of self-harm. It's not just about cutting. For me, what works is I take an elastic band, and when I feel that urge to self-harm, I actually put it round my wrist and basically snap the elastic band. I'm not going to lie, it does hurt, but it's sort of like you're getting that relief, you're getting that release that the self-harm does for you, but without cutting yourself and doing yourself bad injuries, and leaving yourself with scars, which unfortunately, you know, I do have. I know when I self-harm that I'm hurting my family. I know I'm hurting my mum and my sister and my boyfriend, but excuse me, you don't see it like that. You only selfishly think of yourself when you self-harm. It's not something, you know, you're not there thinking about other people. Well, you know, oh, other people are going to think this of me. You just don't think that. You just want that relief. You just want that release of the pain that you're feeling. But the elastic band has helped me tremendously, and any times I have wanted to self-harm, which really, you know, since about September last year I haven't, is to get the elastic band out, and that has helped me tremendously because it's given me that relief. I know this is probably going to sound really stupid, but for me it's worked. I sort of given myself this talk. So, you know, when I have wanted to self-harm, I've sort of, in my head, I've been saying, well, you're gonna go upstairs, you're gonna put your pajamas on, you're gonna get in bed, and you're gonna go to sleep, and that's what you're gonna do. And I'll repeat it to myself, and I'll be like, this is what you're gonna do. You're not gonna self-harm. This is what you're gonna do, and that has helped. So I have found ways that, you know, you can control the self-harm more than it controlling you, which is what it can do. So another thing that helps me is to actually read about the depression. I know some people may think, you know, what do you want to read about it for? But I wanted to find out what was actually happening to my mind and what happening to my body. So for me, reading up on it was fantastic, and it worked for me. I see myself as two people when I've got depression. You have the happy, chatty, you know, Nikki that most people see out there, but then you have this other side to me, which is the depressive side of me, the black cloud side of me, the side of me that doesn't know who she is when she looks in the mirror. You know, yes, I do have bad days now and again, but, you know, like I said in my What Makes Me Happy video, I have learned to cope with it. I know when the depression's coming back. I know the signs. So I'm making these series of videos just really because I understand what people are going through when they've got depression and anxiety. I know that dark cloud that you feel, and you know, that emptiness that you feel inside. So I'm hoping that these videos, you know, even if they just help one person, that would make me happy. So if you are suffering with depression, you need to know that you're not alone, and, you know, hopefully, you know, you'll take some advice from this video. And if you do know anybody that's going through depression at the moment, then maybe share these tips with them or get them to watch this video. The next video I'm going to do on this subject will be ways in which I relax and I control depression. So hopefully you'll watch that video and you'll get some hopeful tips for you. I know this wasn't really a very happy subject, guys, but it's one I wanted to do. It's you know, one that I wanted to share with you. So thank you very much for taking your time to watch this. If you do like this video, then, you know, please do subscribe or press the like button down below. You can also check out my blog, which is daisyjonald1977.blogspot.co.uk. Alright then, thank